Hi everybody. Welcome to Quarter Inch Seam. Welcome to my sewing room. Get a chair, get a cup of something. Today we're doing water because it's like 80 degrees. It's a warm day here in Florida. I have a client in California, in Northern California, and it's still very cold out there and raining, and she said, wow, enjoying our Florida weather. Yeah, I'm sorry. We're probably gonna watch the Super Bowl in shorts this afternoon. I'm sorry. Okay, oh my gosh. I have so much that I even, somewhere I had to write myself notes because we have so much to talk about, oh my gosh. Okay, you're not gonna believe what we're gonna sew today. A yard flag. You know those little yard flags? You know that say like Happy Merry Christmas or Happy Easter or, you know, whatever they say. And they're sometimes they can be a little bit pricey. Like if you're changing it out every month, you're gonna have a couple of bucks and then they don't last but, you know, a few months before they get, beaten up a little bit by the weather. And I thought that would be really fun, and it's something that we could do together right now, while I'm shooting this video. It's not a monster project. So I'm gonna tell you what I've done already. So, oh, don't forget, like, subscribe, and share. Go tell someone else to come. Yeah, go have them join us. Yeah, get a cup of coffee or a soda or glass of wine. Look, it's not for me to judge. You want to drink a glass of wine in the afternoon? Drink a glass of wine in the afternoon. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to try and do the whole like lettering, anything like that. And I was hoping I had a panel, like a really cute springtime panel. But the one that I have hanging on my wall, by Mary Engelbright. I don't know if any of you know Mary Engelbright. She's fantastic. Fantastic. I have been a fan of Mary Engelbright's since I was like in high school. I just love her stuff. And I have this really cute panel on my wall that I'll show you guys next week because it's hard for me to take it down right now. But it's too big. The frame on our little wall yard flag thing, is only about 24 inches, maybe something like that. So we're gonna try and do this. I don't have a pattern. I don't have measurements. I have some measurements, but we're just winging it. We're winging it so hard today. Just because I wanted to do this, I thought it would be fun. And I gotta get rid of the Christmas one. It's February. Come on. So, here's what I did. I took this adorable fabric, which I just love, and I only bought like a yard, because you know me, I never buy more than a yard. I don't know why. Anyway, isn't this pretty? I just thought it was so pretty. Like these big, they're almost like Gerber daisies, but they're not Gerber daisies. And these huge butterflies, I love butterflies. My mom and I love butterflies. And I just thought it was really pretty. And so it doesn't have any words or anything on it, but I thought it would be good for spring. So I cut it. So here's what I did. I cut it like 23 or 24 inches long. Let's see. It's 22 inches long. So 22 inches long. And then across is like 17. And then, so I cut two pieces, same fabric. I just did the same fabric on both sides. Oh, it's a disaster in here. Then I pulled out this interfacing stuff. I had like the leftovers of a roll of this interfacing stuff that you use like on a tote bag or whatever. It's supposed to give it like a little bit of structure. I don't even have, there was like this little sliver of an instruction sheet, but I don't even have the tag of what it's called or whatever. So again, we're just making this up. We're making this up as we go. We are. I told you a long time ago when you first joined and came to this room, the chance of you learning something is, the margins are so small that you're going to learn anything. They really are. Or I might go blind trying to put my glasses on. Okay. So I got my pieces, 2 pieces. I did the same thing on both sides. You could probably do something different on both sides. And then I put this interfacing stuff, which is a real pain in the patootie. Let me just tell you, okay? Seriously. Because I like stuff that's fast. I didn't want to spend 2 hours getting ready. But I finally think I figured it out. You have to have a really hot iron. Like, you gotta have your iron really hot. And my little cordless one that I use mostly in here by my sewing table gets very hot, but it doesn't last very long because it's not corded. You know, so when you take it out of the base, you only have a minute or 2, right? And this stuff, like, you've got to put it, you lay it on the shiny side against the wrong side of your fabric, and then you lay it down. And like, I don't have my ironing board in here right now, so I'm on this little small mat again. We're building things with like toothpicks and Q-tips, whatever. So you have to put the iron on. Like, here's how I did it. Like, I put the iron on. Let's find a little spot. Some of the spots didn't get it all the way. And then just like leave it there. Like, for it, I think the paper said like 8 to 10 seconds, like all of that. And then I just kept giving it steam. Keep steaming, keep steaming, keep steaming. Like, literally, there's the indentations of my irons on here. But that's really the only way that it actually, what's that? That's weird. See? And then it actually like gets this, whatever this gluey stuff is on here, you really have to activate it. You can't just like run your iron over it. That will not, in fact, that makes it worse, because then it's like, it's kind of a little bit gummy. Anyway, so I did that on one piece, okay? This is where it's gonna get super freaky. Okay, so now we're gonna sew these pieces. Oh, I got a cramp on my hand. So now we're gonna sew these pieces together while I tell you about the week and about the weekend, what we did yesterday. Oh, right sides together, Angela. So I'm gonna put the right sides together. I'm gonna sew all the way around the bottom, around it, but I'm gonna stop. Why am I yelling? All the way around 3 sides. So I'm gonna go side, bottom, up, right? But I'm gonna leave like 2 inches on the side so I can figure out how to create like a little loopy thing so that you can hang it. Who knows? Who knows if it's gonna work? I don't know. I have no idea. No idea. There's probably good patterns out there on the internet. So go ahead. Anyway, so let's just try it. Right sides together, the interfacing on one side, which is probably gonna make it a real chore to get it turned. And it's not exactly, okay. All right, here we go. And I told you I was gonna do a little bit wider of a little bit more than a 1/4 inch, just because, yeah, I think that's probably a 1/2 inch. Let me see what this is. To here. From the needle to that mark. No, it's not quite a 1/2 inch, is it? Are you? Oh, let's look at this way. Yeah, it's not quite. Actually, it's a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. What am I talking about? Yeah, it's a little bit more than a 1/2 inch. So let's try that. I have a little mark on my sewing machine. So I have a 1/4 inch mark on the actual bobbin plate, which is really cool. And then there's another line, which is, it says it's a 1/2, but it seems like it's a little bit more than a 1/2. Whatever, we're gonna use that line so that I have a guide. Okay, so okay. And we're gonna start, what did I say? Just a little bit down. Yeah, just a little bit, a couple inches. just so we can figure out what, what we're doing. Okay. Okay, close your eyes. Here we go. Always scary. Okay, so, what did you do this week? Did you do anything fun? It's been a crazy week, hasn't it? Like, I don't care if look, this is not about politics, but it's been a wild ride this week. A wild, wild ride. Lots and lots going on. So, and I'm already off my mark. Okay, there we go. I had a busy week. It wasn't a fantastic week, but it was just crazy busy. We had a lot of like meetings and stuff to do for our business. So that, that's always like you have to plan for that stuff. And sometimes the planning is what gets me. Okay, so I got to the bottom. I'm just gonna lift the presser foot and turn it. Oh my God, I still have pink yarn, pink thread on here. Oh, who cares? You're not gonna see it. You're not gonna see it. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. Okay, put the needle back, put the plate back down and keep going. Okay, so that was that. That was work. It was all right. It was nothing fantastic, a little bit of stress, just normal. And then Friday, Steve and I were like, I had a meeting in the morning. Then we had a conference call, so we got all that done. Then we both said, forget it, we're out of here. And so we went to where did we go? Oh, Lady Lake. And there's a PGA Superstore down there that he loves to go to, and he wanted to go do that. And right across the street, which I usually enjoy, I do that too with him. I like to just bum around and look at stuff. And one thing about Steve and I is we do what the other person likes to do, because that's just what we do. Like he walks around Joann's with me or Hobby Lobby, and he always finds cool stuff that I miss. And I love to walk around the golf shop, and he tells me about the clubs he's looking at, or what I don't know. We love to do things. We take an interest in the other person's stuff because we love to be together. Even 28 years later. Who'd have thought, don't do the math. You'll never get there if you try and do the math on me. You won't. You'll never get there. So just give it up. Okay. Anyway, so keep sewing. So that's what we did Friday night. And while we were, so across the street from the PGA store, I dropped him off at the PGA store because usually I try and find a bookstore, so that we'll go to the golf shop and then we'll run over to the bookstore. But there was no bookstore nearby. But there was across the street, Joann's. And so I went into Joann's and I was bumming around. And I know that I had chosen, technically I had chosen another fabric for the back of the petals quilt. But I kept saying, oh, I gotta go over to Hobby Lobby. I gotta go over to Hobby Lobby. And I never got over there. I never got over there and bought it. So I was in Joann's, and they had a bunch of stuff on fabric on sale. And so I have, I've gotten a fabric for the back of the bees quilt. Now, it's a little bit, I don't know. I just like it. So I don't care if it's the best match for the back. I don't care. This is what I'm doing on the back of the bees quilt. The back of the petals quilt. Do you guys remember my petals quilt? If you're new here, you may not remember my petals quilt. This is probably going to go down as one of my pride and joy things that I've completed. So these are my bead petals. You can't see the whole thing. I mean, you can't see the whole thing because it's too big to open up right now in this room. So this is my bees quilt, my petals quilt, and this is what we're gonna do on the back. And I think it's gonna come out cute. And I don't know what I'm gonna do for the quilting. I don't, to be honest with you, because there's so much stuff going on, I think I might go back and do like, you know what I was just thinking? Maybe I'll just do like stitch in a ditch, you know, where you stitch in the seam line of these big squares, because they're like 16-inch squares. So I think maybe what I'll do is just sew along those square lines, and then I think in the middle of each petal I'm gonna do just a yarn tie, a cute little yarn tie, maybe like in gold, you know, pretty gold color. I think that's probably what I'm gonna do. I think I'm not gonna try and do like some sort of a big scrolly thing all over the whole thing. I'm not gonna do that. Because I think it would just be too much on this thing. So this is the back, and I'm really happy with it. And you wouldn't even believe how long it took me to figure out like how much fabric I needed for the back of a quilt. You couldn't even imagine if you tried. So, and I know there's calculators for that, but I had really poor cell reception, and I was just trying to figure out, the lady was like, well, how big is your quilt? And I'm like, I don't know. And Minnie, okay, hold on. I closed the door and she's mad. You can hear her sniffing. Okay, so we're almost at the end. This is a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm gonna back up a couple stitches. Just for good measure. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn it around. Anyway, so that's the back of the bees quilt. And so what we did was, I figured that the squares, I had to pull a picture up of it. The squares were like 16 inches wide. There's 4 across, so we guesstimated that's like 32, 64 across and down, because it's 4x4. There's 4 petals up and down. So that's 64 across and down. A yard is 36 inches wide, so we did 4 yards. That's what I'm guesstimating. God, I really hope it's enough. Jeez. I mean, it's still gonna have to be pieced because, you know, 36, but I hope it works. Anyway, okay, so I got this sewn on all 3 sides. I'm gonna trim it just a smidge. Okay, what am I gonna do up here? I'm thinking, shouldn't I be able to, I don't know, let's trim it and get it and flip it around. The flipping it around alone is gonna be interesting because now I have this interfacing on it. And I'm just gonna take a little bit off these corners. And the sides are a little bit uneven, so I'm just gonna kind of square them up a little bit so there's not quite so much. Oh, hello, Angela. So way too close there. So what are you guys doing for the game today? Today's Super Bowl Sunday. If you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, you're probably not doing anything for the Super Bowl. I have no skin in the game for either team. But that being said, I usually, unless it's a team that I really like, the Bucks, you know, we're Buccaneers fans here. Unless it's the Bucks playing, or I don't really have any allegiance to any California teams. I don't even remember who the California teams are anymore because they keep selling the darn things. Anyway, I like an underdog. I like an underdog because I am frequently an underdog. Steve and I are frequently underdogs. And so, I like when the underdog wins. And there you have it. All right, let's go. I hope this works. Okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not so bad. The only reason I did this, the only reason I put this stuff in here, because I was originally I wasn't going to put anything in between. You know, I wasn't going to use the interfacing. But then I thought, gosh, it's just going to be really flappy out there because this is not outdoor fabric. So I'm going to try and put this somewhere where we've got like an eave that kind of will protect it a little bit, although we don't anticipate much rain or anything right now. So, you know, we'll see. Okay, you know me, I always use a little pointer thing to do the corners, and usually I poke through the corners. So again, gently poke your corners out. Size-wise, I'm gonna say this. Size-wise, you just measure your thing. Like I didn't measure my hanger thing, and I hope it's not too wide. I hope this isn't too wide. That's my only fear, is that it might be a little bit too wide. Should I have measured it? Yes. Was I too lazy to go outside and measure it? Also yes. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Because I wanted to get this done. I wanted to get this sewn. I wanted to spend some time in my sewing room today. I'm listening to, what's on my audiobook right now? Actually, I'm using Libby right now. I'm using Libby right now just because I was trying to turn off a bunch of subscription stuff. You know, sometimes you end up with so many subscriptions, and somebody had said, oh, you should try Libby. So I did. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try Libby and get rid of Audible for a little bit, which I have, and I enjoy. Like, it doesn't, you know, I don't feel like I have to make use of my credits. I almost caved the other day because a couple of the books that I wanted to get on Libby, like they were all on hold. It was all like, you have to wait in line, you know, just like the library. Hello, everybody remember the library? So I was on the verge of getting frustrated and saying, oh hell, I'm just going to go back to Audible. And just at that moment, I got a pop-up on my phone that said, hey, one of the books you've been waiting for, which is actually a book that I'm still listening to, which is The Running Grave by Robert Galbraith. If you remember, I read that book not long ago, and that's what I do. I read a book, and then usually a month or so later, I end up getting it on Libby or Audible or whatever and listen to the audiobook, which I love, love, love to do. But it takes me forever because I don't drive for work anymore. And so I listen to it like when I go to the grocery store or when I'm in here sewing or whatever. Sometimes when I'm working, like doing tax work, that's what I do. And that's also how I feel about taxes and the internal... It's not bad. It's fine. It's totally fine. I love it. Anyway. What am I reading right now? So I finished The Perfect Marriage. Did you guys know I was reading The Perfect Marriage? I read that one pretty quick. Perfect Marriage. Oh, yeah. You're not going to see it coming. You're going to think you have it figured out. I didn't have it figured out. No. But then when I got to the end, I was like, oh, hello. Of course it was. So yeah, it was good. It was real good. It was one of those ones where you finish the book and you've had the shocker, and then you start, like I was like, oh, I need to go back and read like 3 or 4 little spots to see if like, oh wow, there it was right there. There it was. Anyway, so now I'm reading, and I love this series, and there's only 2 so far, and I don't know if he's going to do more, but I really, 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 really hope they do because I love it. I think it's a really, really good series. So it's Holmes is Missing by Patterson and Brian Sitz. I haven't read anything else by Brian Sitz, so I'm going to check him out. But Patterson, Holmes is Missing. It's the second in the Holmes, Margaret, and Poe mystery. And the first one was... Holmes, Marple and Poe. Holmes, criminy. What was the first one? I think it was Holmes, Marple and Poe. Anyway, just really, really liked it. Really, really liked this one. This is one of those ones by Patterson where I'm like, I hope it doesn't. I hope it continues the series because it's really, really good. I really like it. So you should read the first one, then read the second one. That's what I'm reading right now. I'm about halfway done. If we're going to not holiday. What the hell's going on today? The Super Bowl. We're going to a little Super Bowl party with some friends of ours. They invited us over. I'm bringing a cake. That's about my only investment. Okay, here's something else. Okay, here's something I'm not all that crazy about that just dawned on me. When you use that interfacing, it's only structuring one side. What? See, it's not really stuck to the other side. Well, I don't really care. Again, it's going to hang in the yard. It's going to hang in the yard. Like, this is one of those situations where I'm like, I wanted to do this. I love this fabric. I've been dying to do something with this fabric. I was going to do it on the back of the Petals quilt, but I didn't have enough, and I just didn't want to chase it down. Although I'm pretty sure I saw some at Joann's yesterday, so I'm pretty sure that's where I got it. But I just love this fabric. Oh my gosh. It's just so me. So pretty, right? Okay, so there's our flag so far, okay? All right, now, I don't think I did this right, but that's okay. I totally didn't do this right. Nope. And I'll tell you why. Because how do you do that? How should I have done this? How did I make the loop? I need a loop to put the thing through. The flag thing has to go through the top. Okay. All right, let's not panic. An idea is coming. It's going to be a little bit of a pain, but that's okay. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sew. Okay, I'm going to fold the top over a little bit, just enough, and sew it. Oh, I should have done it when it was flipped over. I should have left a gap. Did your brain ever just stop completely? Mine just stopped. It was working like it was like, okay, let's figure this out. Let's figure this out. All the little mice were spinning. And then they were like, oh God, we gotta take a break. We don't know. We don't know how to make a loop. Okay. I'm gonna close your eyes. Okay, I'm gonna fold this back to get it out of my way. Oh! Hey, what if I did that? Can't I just fold it over? Oh, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, all right. Don't panic. Don't freak out. Don't panic. Don't panic. Okay, I'm gonna fold in the sides. Okay, and I'm gonna sew up the top, just sew it across, and then I'm gonna fold it over, make myself a little loop. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to come down a little ways though, because I'm going to first sew this. I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to flip the top because it's, that edge is raw. Okay. So I'm just going to do a little bit. I'm just going to make a little fold over like that. Okay. Like maybe 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Let's just fold that over and let's just, sew it. Steam it. Iron it. Okay. Sorry. I'm turning around. You're not supposed to have your back to everybody. How rude! I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do it. I don't know. I'm sure, in fact, leave me some comments, because I don't know. But I know that this is going to work. I can tell you that. It's going to work because it's going to work. That part of my personality I get from my grandmother and my mom. It's really not how people do things. It's going to work because I say it's going to work. Well, that's not how people really do things. Okay, I don't care. It's going to work because I said it's going to work. It's going to work because it's going to work. Okay. And then I have to tell you guys, oh, so we're going to this Super Bowl party. It's only like 10 people. It's small, and it's at friends of ours' houses that we do, like we swap around like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and like stuff like this will come up, like the Super Bowl or whatever. 4th of July, we did a really fun 4th of July party a couple years ago. This year I did Thanksgiving. Okay, so now I think I'm going to stitch this down a little bit, and then I'm going to fold it over again, and I'm going to stitch it down again. Okay, so let's just do a little outer stitch here. I was starting to freak out because I wanted to get this done for the video. I wanted to finish this one, and I'm going to bump my needle over. Bump my needle over. Okay, oops, sorry. Close that. Bump the needle over. Left, right. Okay. I'm going to bump the needle over just so that it sews right along the edge, because I don't want to, I don't want a really big seam there. Oh, it's going to work. Okay. Now, back stitch a little bit. Just one. Okay. Lift the presser foot up, but not the needle. Okay? And then now it's coming back down. So I'm just sewing a little bit around. So I did this little fold over. Okay, I did this little fold over. See, I folded it over just a little bit and pressed it down. And now I'm just going to sew it down, and then you'll see the next part. The next part here. Tripod. Just do what I want you to do. Okay, you ready? All right, here we go. And I'm just like right along the edge. It's gonna work, it's gonna work, it's gonna work. Tell you what, if I had a flag making company, we would be making zero profits. Because it would take me Okay, now I'm gonna do the little corner there just a little bit. Okay? Okay, so anyway, about this Super Bowl party. So here's something that I do that some people probably take as rude. Steve doesn't even question it anymore. He's like, yeah, whatever. Just whatever, do whatever. Is when we go to like something like this, where I know I'm going to be sitting around, you get there, you get a drink, blah, 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 you sit down for the start of the game. But I'm not really into the game this year because I really don't care about the teams. It's just not that big of a deal to me, and I'm not a huge football fan. Oh my gosh, this is going to work! I'm making it, I'm doing it. Look. So now I'm just going to fold this over. Okay? Like, this looks like it's like maybe 1.5 inches. Okay, let's do about 1.5 inches. So we have enough room for it to be sewn, and okay, and I'm going to press it a little bit. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to sew down the side and across the bottom again, and then it's going to be a flag. Wowzers. I tell you what, since you guys started coming over, I've never sewn so much in my whole life. I've never gotten so much done. This is good. You guys should do this. Are you going to do this today? Oh, you should make this today while the game is on, because I have a feeling the game's going to be, except for the beginning. I did tell Steve, I wanted to make sure that we got there for the start of the game, because I love the opening part. I love the flag. They're probably going to send that eagle out flying again. I love the singing of the national anthem. It makes me cry every time. Because, going back to one of the first points I made today, because I don't care where you are politically, we just live in the most amazing... What did I do? Oh, I touched the thing. No, I don't know what I'm doing. There. We live in just the most amazing country in the world, I think. And it's just amazing. And so I love that part of the thing. But here's my point. Is when we go to stuff like this, and I know I'm going to be kind of sitting around because it's just really hors d'oeuvres and fun food, and you know, it's not like a sit-down meal. I'm going to do a little bit of a zigzag stitch on this, just so that it stays on there really well. But you know what I'm going to do? I got to change the thread really quick. Have you guys got another 5 minutes? Okay, let me just change the thread really fast, because I don't really want that color. I like this color. I would highly recommend... Just cut the thread. That's what happens when you try and go too fast. Okay. What happens? Like a little kid when you get excited and you just go too fast. Here it is. Right here. Is when I going to their house today. Finish your thought, Angela, for God's sake. 36 minutes and you still haven't gotten your thought out. Is I usually bring, okay, so it would be rude for me to bring a book, okay? Because that's what I would do if I were at home. It would be rude for me to bring a book. I understand I'm not bringing a book. But I am gonna bring some crochet. Because I can do, you know, but people are talking to me or whatever. Couldn't I just sit and crochet? It gives me something to do with my hands, you know. That's what I'm going to do. I am going to bring my crochet. I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it. You know, we're all just going to be sitting around, you know. That's what I'm going to do. Bring in my book. Okay. Pull that out because that's just not happening. Okay. So what are you doing for the Super Bowl? Are you bringing your crochet? So anyway, I'm going to bring just this little blanket that I've been working on. And, you know, it's easy if I'm just sitting on the couch or whatever. Okay, so I don't know if you heard that I'm bringing crochet to the Super Bowl game. Just because if I'm sitting there and there's not much else to do, that's what I'm going to do. I just am now sewing the sides up, and guess what? I started to sew it shut. So hang on 2 seconds. Oh my gosh. It's getting a little warm in here. I'm going to turn the air on. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's just go down this. Let's just go down the bottom right now, so we don't forget what we're doing. Okay. Ready? Alrighty. Here we go. Cross your fingers. Actually, just close your eyes. Okay. So see, okay, so now you have another project that you can do that, like if you're a beginner, okay, if you're a master quilter or master sewer, you're probably laughing at this, but that's okay. If you like to get stuff done, you're probably jumping for joy. And if you're a beginner, Like this is as easy as doing a placemat. Like seriously, I'll do these now just the way I used to do placemats, as like a way to come into my sewing room and find a project quick. You know, just make it whatever size you want, and there you go. Holy camole, we made a flag! I love it. It's cool. I'm gonna go hang it outside, and I'm gonna put pictures on Instagram, so be sure to check the Instagram page, and Facebook. We'll put it on there. And if you had any fun today at all, please like and subscribe. And if you really, really had fun today, then share the video and invite somebody else to come a couple times a week and sit with us and sew. And we have a huge announcement coming in the next like week and a half. So make sure that you hit the bell so that you get the notifications of when something new comes out, because I have a huge announcement, and it's going to be so much fun. You guys are going to love it. Have a fantastic week. Have a fantastic Sunday. I'm rooting for whatever team you want to win. Love you guys. Bye. And remember, only a 1/4 inch seam. Only. Love you guys. Bye. So first, we're gonna take